For a very long time, I wanted to start making videos about what it was like driving around New York City. Just because I think that driving around New York City is really, well, it's quite an experience. And if you haven't had the chance to do it ever, you should. The characters that you meet, the people that disregard the road, the people that make up their own rules, it's a very interesting place to drive. However, sometimes I have the ability to get a really unique view on driving in New York City. And this is what I wanted to capture with this channel. I wanted to capture some truly unique cars and a truly unique view at what it was like to drive around New York City. And some of you may already know a bit about what this channel is going to be, just from the channel name. However, we're going to be doing showing you a very JDM view on driving around New York City. Welcome to JDM NYC. So, what we have here is probably one of the cleanest examples of a 1989 180SX. A beautiful car. This one, I mean, in specifics. So, I've driven and or been in a couple of these now at this point. 180SXs or Silvia S13s. And I want to say, first off, when I'm amazed at the fact that this one does not have a cracked dash. The majority of these get a cracked dash by this point, after all these years, after being sitting out in the sun and so forth. This one does not have that. That's awesome. It's definitely a little bit of an eyesore to look at. I do hope to get the S13 version into a video shortly after this one. However, that can only happen if you guys give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, so that we know that it's worthwhile to keep on doing and making these videos. So go ahead, do that. I'll wait. You done? Awesome. So, 1989 Nissan 180SX CA18 DET motor. Actually, the same exact one that was in the Nissan Silvia, the S13 one. I haven't fully kind of distinguished yet if there is an actual difference between the two as far as power-wise goes anyway. Parts of me feels like the Silvia may be tuned a little bit differently. It just feels a little bit more alive. That being said, however, this is, I mean, an amazing car for a 1.8 liter turbo. It doesn't weigh a whole lot at all. This is a Type 1, so it does not have the Hikas four-wheel steering option from Nissan, which is, I mean, an amazing system if you've ever driven a car with it. It is definitely a ton of fun. This one, however, does handle beautifully. It is rear-wheel drive like it's supposed to be. It is also an automatic. Now, I get it. The purists are cringing right now. You guys feel like you were stabbed in the chest. Your soul has been pulled out of you and sucked out. I get it. But bear with me on this. If you get this car as a daily driver, not as something that you're planning to rip around, not something you're planning to make into a, drift machine, not a missile car, but if you truly get this to enjoy driving in one of its simplest forms, and to truly enjoy a great handling, unique car, automatic's pretty awesome. Especially when you're driving around New York City, a place that, I mean, we have horrible roads. We don't have non-traffic hours very often, really. You're driving to work, you're driving back from work, you're driving to the store, you're driving somewhere else. You're just stop and go the majority of the time. It's nice to have automatic. It's nice to just sit back and throw this thing in drive and just go. Now, this car has a little button over here. Essentially, you can switch from regular automatic, where it's just calm in a normal vehicle and so forth, or you can go into power mode. Power mode, it will hold shifts a little bit higher, it will shift a little bit more aggressively, and this is all in 1989. Speaking of cool things that this car has in 1989, and I'm going to have to get kind of like a separate clip of this, and I'll cut it into a corner of the video so you guys can see. This car has a fully functional electronic heads-up display. It's over there, off to the corner, so you guys can't see it from where the camera's pointing right now. But it works, I promise. I'll get a clip of it and I'll cut it into the video so you guys can see. And it just shows me my speed in kilometers an hour, obviously, but right up in front of my view. It's beautiful. Furthermore, oh, people, they should pay attention. And this guy, amazing. Everybody's doing good here. Furthermore, see what I mean, by the way, about how great it is to drive in New York? Anyway, this car also has electronic mirrors. And what I mean by electronic mirrors, I don't mean that they are adjustable electronically, which they are. I mean that they can be put away and opened at the click of a button. And that's actually very convenient. All my buttons to control my mirrors are right here. It's right up at the top of my center console. And if I want to go ahead and close my mirrors, I just click a button and my mirrors close. And then I click a button again and my mirrors open. In 1989, I just want to say, a feature that for some odd reason, we still don't have in most modern American cars. That's weird. This car also has a sunroof, which we're going to go ahead and close now so that you can hear me a little bit easier as we do a quick strip down the highway to show you guys a little bit of, I guess, the annoyance of driving in New York. So remember those roads I said weren't good? This is probably the best part of them. See what you guys feel about that one. And as you can see, the majority of the highway is stop and go. The other side, which you might not be able to see right now because of the glare of the sun, they're essentially standing still. Our side, we're going to make it over this bridge and slow back down again shortly. Just so you guys understand, the fastest that we have hit so far has been 60 kilometers an hour. And well, on that note, we are also getting off of the highway because there's no point to continue. But automatic's been pretty nice. No hassles, no headaches, less issues. I'm relaxed, I'm calm, and I'm really enjoying driving this car. I'm not sitting there going, swapping out from first to neutral, from first to neutral, from first to second to first to neutral, non-stop. It's a fun experience. That said, a couple things that you should know, because there's a couple of things that really stand out about driving this car as opposed to anything else on a daily basis. First off, if you're going to go ahead and pick this car up as like your secondary car and you plan to drive a regular, you know, American spec vehicle majority of the time and then swap out to this, you're going to find yourself doing a couple of things. One of those things is probably going to be getting in on the wrong side of the car. Either this one or that, or the other one. You're going to get in on the wrong side of the car at least once. And at least a dozen or 2 dozen times, you're going to go ahead and use your windshield wipers as your turn signals in your American car. And this is why. So, in the JDM versions, your turn signals are located on the right-hand side of your steering wheel, and this right here is your windshield wiper stalk. So, when you go back to your American spec car, all of that is reversed. So you're constantly sitting there driving around going, oh man, I need to make a turn. Let me go ahead and turn my turn signals on. And you're sitting there with your windshield wipers on now. And everybody's gonna laugh, because nobody knows you have a right-hand drive car sitting in the garage. And then that's really why you're going ahead and going through this. Pop-up headlights. I mean, who does not like pop-up headlights? I'll show you guys a little clip of those later on, because I know that some people are going to ask. Everybody loves pop-up headlights. They're an awesome thing. I'm actually quite surprised those cops did not stare. They may have just not noticed. So while we're standing here, quick thing I want to mention. Nissan. Was there any particular reason you decided not to put cup holders in this car? Just a thought. There's an ashtray here in the center console that, if you really want, you know, you could take out and then put your water bottle there and it'll kind of stay. But then you have this ashtray that you got to go ahead and put somewhere. Personally, I prefer the ashtray in there. And then all you can really do is lay your water bottle down on the seat next to you. But if you have somebody sitting there, unless they feel like holding your water bottle the whole entire time, you're kind of shit out of luck. Not very fun. Not a great experience, truth be told. And then your water bottle rolls around the car and then goes places all on its own. That's not fun. Now, one of the main things you're going to have to get used to when you pick up a right-hand drive car I love New York. I truly do. So one of the things you're going to have to get used to when you pick up a right-hand drive car is turning. Because, well, you're usually on this side of the car, and you're used to keeping that side of the car nice and tight on your turns, right? But now you can't do that. You can't do that because when you first get into this car, you don't know where that corner is yet. Ooh, blinding. And because you don't know where that corner is yet, you need to go ahead and keep your turn wide. But not wide enough that this side is now at risk of being, well, in a parked car. It takes a little bit of, you know, getting used to. Just when you initially get into it and you first start driving a right-hand drive car, just kind of bear that in mind. Try to keep your turns a little bit on the wider side until you get used to feeling and understanding where, you know, the left side of the vehicle really is. Same is going to go for passing double parked cars. Hopefully you guys don't have as many of them as we do around here, but I mean, if you do, you're going to have to get used to the fact that these people are usually sticking out fairly far, and you're going to have to get used to where the left side of your car is when you go all around these people. It'll take some getting used to, but I promise you, you'll get it. And at this point, honestly, driving on the right hand to me feels more natural than on the left. It just feels like it makes more sense. Things just feel more comfortable. I like having the stalk for my turn signals on the right side of my steering wheel. It feels convenient for me. I like this whole setup. I like being on this side of the road. You're always next to the store when you have to get out. You're always kind of essentially on the sidewalk when you park in the direction of traffic. I mean, it just makes sense. I don't know why we couldn't just leave it at that. Have everybody drive on the same exact side. It's really a very fun car to drive, and it's light. It's light, and it's rear-wheel drive, and it's turbo. And it's not a, 300-400 horsepower car. In fact, it's not even a 200 horsepower car. Beep, beep. But boy, is that a lot of fun. And if you've never driven one, you should. Because it will put a smile on your face. So let's take a little bit of an outside look at this 1989 180SX. You might notice the very familiar shape here if you're into the 240SX, because this was the 240SX here in the States with the hatchback and the all. But over in Japan, this was the 180SX, a beautiful car. I have to say, I personally love the pop-up headlights. They may just be one of my favorite features about the front end of this car. The Sylvia also has a very beautiful front end with projector headlights, while this only has the halogen. But this has pop-ups. Who does not love pop-up headlights? Come on. Now, there's that sunroof. Whoop, there it is, that I mentioned previously. Mind the fact that this one has letters. It did come over from the port recently. So we do have those, and as you can see, we have the 4-wheel active steer sticker on here. However, this is a Type 1, so Hikes was not available on it. Kind of questionable as to whether or not this one has 4-wheel active steer. It's just not kind of the Hikes edition of it, or somebody just put that sticker on. Not 100% sure on that. JDM stickers though. Nissan Fleet Sales Co. And what may very well be the dealership that this car came from. Any of you guys that are watching this that are familiar with, well, that sticker or the NIFSCO sticker, or maybe know why this 89 Type 1 200SX has the 4-wheel active steer sticker, let me know down in the comments below. Now when you turn on the radio, this car does have an aftermarket radio, but it's still an aftermarket JDM radio, which is kind of interesting. But whenever you turn that on, your antenna will automatically slide up and then back down away when you turn the radio off. Rather convenient little feature, if I say so myself. Let's get a little bit of an inside look. There's my water bottle laying about, making a mess of things. Let's get that out of the way. I mean, this is an extremely clean car, and again, probably the cleanest version that I have seen and driven, or even, you know, rode in. Full power windows, I just want to say, both sides, drivers and on here. Power windows, power mirrors, and there's that fold mirror button right there, as you can see, and our JDM radio that well, catches only a handful of stations because JDM joy. Automatic transmission with overdrive, full auto econ, and our beautiful dash, which I'll show you guys all nice and lit up momentarily. Now the sunroof is manual action, so let me actually show you that a little bit. Handle for the sunroof, it kind of like the newer Mustangs, I guess the base ones that are convertible. It's not power, it's a very kind of, you know, do-it-yourself interactive, so to speak, version. This one focuses in much the same way, so you just boom and lock everything up, and now it's closed. And when you want it open, pop that open, lock that up, and you have your sunroof nice and tilted and open. And your back lights. There is, I guess, a back seat. I'm not 100% sure you'd be able to really use it. I mean, let me try to just hop up in here. Ooh. And put the seat back. I guess I fit. I kind of fit. There's an ashtray here. Huh. Get out of here. Bit claustrophobic. Center console. There's that ashtray that I said you can go ahead and pop out if you wish. Pop in. It does light up at night. There's a little hole right there and the light shines through to that. It's actually very well thought out for 1989. I do have to say that. The dash cluster, you have a digital speedometer on this car, which matches the heads-up display that will pop up over there. I'll show it to you momentarily. All of your gauges for your headlights that you left on and so forth. That one blank that you see in between the check engine light and the get gas light, that's where the Hikes steering would go. It's an option on the Type 2 vehicles, not on here. What I love on up here, and I have no idea how this kind of like evaded society for all this time afterwards, I love those little vents over there. They have one on each side, and it just directs air right at the driver. Or if you have your hands right here, it'll pull them right out to your hands, and it's just comfortable. You still have the regular, you know, side vent like you normally would, but I mean, those are amazing, and I don't know what in the hell ever happened to them and why we don't have these things anymore. You could obviously shut them if you you know, so wish, but this is a great little thing. How did we ever forget about this? Beats me. Let's turn this thing on, show you guys. lights on for the door being open because, well, it is. Clock down there, digital speedo, and there's that electronic heads-up display. We are not going anywhere, so it just says 0, but you guys obviously get the point. Also, interestingly enough, for people that just really like the pop-up headlights, let me try to get up into here. There is a separate switch here that you can use to go ahead and just pop the lights on and off. Well, I'm sorry, open and closed. It does not actually turn the lights on. You still need to use your headlight stalk to go ahead and do that. But if you just want to have these things popped up when you're driving around, you click that and they pop up. Let's take a look quickly. Okay. And if you go ahead and flash your high beams, they'll pop out, flash the high beams, and pop back down automatically. Boop, down. A very cool and convenient little feature, I must say. I must say. Now, if the heads-up display gets annoying to you, this window display here, right here, clicking that once will just disable it. Clicking it again will turn it back on. So there you guys have it. Our first episode of JDM NYC. An awesome 1989 180SX driving around the streets of Brooklyn, showing you guys what it's like not only to deal with the stupidity of drivers that we have here, but to deal with that stupidity on the other side of the car. It's fun, it's an experience, and I can't wait to make more and more and more of these videos for you guys. And again, that can only happen when you subscribe to the channel and you give us a thumbs up and you tell us what you liked about this video and you tell us what you didn't like about this video, so we can go ahead and make sure that the next one is even better. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, check out the description and the links down below if you're interested in this car. A prime example and a beauty of a car. We'll see you soon.